All right, so this is back in Psalm, the 10th chapter, in the third verse. It says, "For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blessed the covenants of whom the Lord abhorreth." So what is he boasting about? His new world order. And as you can see, what's going on in Davos 2026, what are they boasting about? They're boasting about how AI is going to govern and control everything, right? See, through robotics and all these other many different other things of that nature, right? Pretty much is what they're saying is that they want to chip everybody. That's pretty much what they're getting down to. They're just not outright saying it to you, but this is what they're talking about, right? To merge man and human together, to merge machine and Slovakia and human together, right? To bring it into being you being a damn cyborg, right? And a goddamn avatar. You see? This is what we got. This is what we got going on. It says the wicked through his pride of his countenance will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in all of his thoughts, right? He wouldn't. He's not going to be in his devil's thoughts, right? Because he's trying to push the heavenly Father and his Son, all right, out of the equation, all right, and go about establishing his own way and recreating the earth, right, and recreating it in his own image, right, saying that the Most High doesn't have any wisdom and knowledge, that Yahweh Shai didn't have any wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the creation of the earth, right, and that he got to recreate it in his own image, and that everybody got to fall in line under him, and that there will be subject and slaves unto him according to the Georgia Guidestones. Keep the population under 500 million people. So destroy the mass amounts of people that are upon the earth to get it down to that number, right? And how do you do that? Through many different variations of forms of food, right? Vaccinations, right? You see? Many different forms of death, okay? And this man is the harbinger of death, okay? All right? It says, verse number 5, it says, "His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight for all of his enemies. For as all of his enemies, he puffeth at them." Right? And Esau, Edom, the enemy, the main enemy of Esau, Edom, is the Israelites. Right? This is a perpetual, ongoing hatred between Jacob and Esau. This stems back to the blessing. So what this man is trying to do is set up his own technocratical world order, right? Blessing of a left-hand side way of wickedness, right? Wickedness. You see? Left-hand miracles of wickedness. Okay? And that's what he's going about to establish it, right? Okay? You see, it's not only funny about it is when you poison the water and you put arsenic in it. Right? You see? That's what this devil does, right? Or you take the same healthcare system that you got, right, and you put petroleum into the drugs, and then you sell it off to the people, make them think that they're feeling good, right, and that they're healthy and all of these things like that, but they're really not. Ultimately, what you're doing is you're taking those drugs that you're giving them and you're destroying them. That's what you're doing. You're destroying the insides of their bodies, right? You're breaking them down and you're decaying them from the inside out. Okay. You see? So this man is a damn devil, man. All right? But when you over in Plum Island creating all these damn many different things that you're doing over there. All right? You see? Weather modifications and heart programs and all these things of that nature. This man is a damn devil. Right? Direct energy weapons and so on and so forth. This man needs to be taken out of power. And guess what? The Heavenly Father is, through his son Yahweh Shai, is going to take him out of power. All right? Seeing his day, Job 14:5, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Okay? You see? So this man's time is short. Right? Job 20, right? The days of, it says the triumphing of the wicked is short. Okay? All right, so let's continue on. Where we at? It says, he have said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity, right? Because he's saying in Psalms 49 and 11, he's saying his inward thought is that his houses shall continue forever, and that all his dwelling places should be called, and all his dwelling places, right? And that they should be called, that the land should be called after his own names, right? Roughly paraphrasing, right? But no, the Heavenly Father is not thinking like that, right? You see? Scriptures say prepare slaughter for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess a land or fill the city of the world with faces. Right? Roughly paraphrasing. And that's you devils. Okay? You devils going right into slavery. And your future is not a bright future. The rest of you nations, you don't have a bright future either. Okay? You do not have a bright future. All right? Get your shit off. Think you're going to get your shit off. You're going to do your thing now. But guess what? Right? You think you're going to do your thing and get your shit off, get your new world order up and running. But guess what? The Most High going to obliterate it. All right? And then guess what? The elect, the first fruits, right? Okay, Lord willing, we be part of that number. You ultimately, you high ups, right? You elite, you super elites. Your ass is going to be the first fruits of slavery. All right? You're going to be chained. You're going to have chains on your ass. Chained up. Call your ass the chain gang. Okay? You see? Devils. All right? It says, and his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. And there you go, deceit and fraud. Because this whole thing, right? Because the RFID microchip is nothing but deceit and fraud, right? Left-hand miracles, witchcraft, right? Witch. You see, under his tongue is mischief and vanity, right? Trouble. Okay? Because that's what the tongue comes with. His tongue comes with nothing but trouble. Right? But then he presents it to you in a form of see, this is the way to go about it. You know? The serpent, real slick, sly, got that slithery tongue like a fox. You know, he comes as a fox too, real slick and sly. You know? It says he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, right? And how you do that right now, see, it's going to be through Palantir, Gideon, right? See, surveillance, all time surveillance at all high. See what happened with the Patriots Act, right? You got cameras set up all over the place. This is how this man sits up in the villages, right? Looking at everything, looking down, right? All seeing eye. You see? It says, in the secret places do he murder the innocent, right? And his eyes are privately set against the poor. He lieth and waits secretly as a lion in his den, right? So he's always sitting back plotting. Micah 2:1. You see? Sitting back, plotting, waiting, looking to jump on his prey. You see? And you people are the prey. Okay? You're the goyim. Right? But mainly who? The Israelites. That's what he wants. Because he said, because Make America Great Again was a slogan about how was America great? When them so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans were enslaved. Okay? You see? That's the witchcraft and the spells behind these things, man. Going on the left-hand side, right? But it says, he lieth and wait to catch the poor, and he doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net, right? Meaning through his puppets, right? Through his setup puppets, his, what you call his frontier puppets. All right, like the Jay-Z's of the world, like the 50 Cents and all these other things like that. Those are all puppets, right? They're gonna push them out. They push them out there, and he gonna chip them too. They're all gonna be chipped. Okay, but he gonna use them to push it out there and show that something is being a good thing to take, right? But it's not. That's a trap. That's a net. Okay? And gradually pushing it in through many different other forms of what? The media. You see? Right? Movies. And so on and so forth. People seeing these movies, looking and going, oh, shit, you see that? And the chip is being involved in all types of movies. Demolition Man, it was in. Total Recall, it was in. Minority Report. It was in all types of movies, man. You can go back.